Djamila Amimer, thank you for being with us today in this ms.ai chat.
Thanks for having me.
Our question today for you as the CEO of MindSenses Global, a company based out of London, and you as an expert in artificial intelligence, please help us understand the basics. What does machine learning mean? And what kind of insights can a business generate by using it?
Thanks, Nancy. So to keep things simple, so machine learning is a subset of AI. So in AI, there are like, obviously autonomous application, there is robotics, there is machine learning. So machine learning is only one subset of artificial intelligence. And most of the machine learning techniques we have so far are really mainly based on statistics. So it is a clever way to use statistics to come up with predictions or to detect patterns. So in terms of, I will kind of cite the main 4 categories, but I wouldn't go into the details. So looking into machine learning, there are like 4 types of machine learning techniques. There is supervised learning, which just means that like as a human, we interact and we intervene in that learning. There is unsupervised learning, which means we let the machine learn by itself and we don't interact. There is reinforcement learning, which means kind of like we let the machine learn by itself, but we help guide it by introducing a system of rewards and punishment. So if it's going the right direction, we give it a reward. If it's going into the wrong direction, we give it a punishment, and that helps guide the machine. And then the last type of machine learning technique is the famous deep learning. So this is what we mean by machine learning techniques. In terms of the business application, so it's mainly used to either come up with detecting patterns. So if I use the example of healthcare, a lot of kind of the cancer detection, for example, if I take skin cancer detection, where the machine has surpassed the human capacity. So I think it's something around 90% to the machine, and then kind of like 80% to the dermatologist, the human doctor. So the machine learning technique, mainly deep learning in this case, is used to scan, obviously look at the scans of cancer and try to detect the cancerous kind of like pixels within that cancer. So here it is used mainly for detecting a pattern. In this case, detecting like an illness. An example of predicting an outcome, you can find it, for example, in banks and financial services. So let's take the example of fraud detection. So we use AI to predict a fraudulent transaction. So we take the profile of the person. So if I have like a Visa card, I'm about to tap it, to buy certain goods. So the AI algorithm will use my profile, Djamila, and then kind of they know my preferences, they know what I buy, they know my buying patterns. They will be comparing me to a pool of people who have similar patterns and profile to me. They will also use kind of data, fraudulent data that they know of from the past, historical data. So they know, for example, a shop or a certain area is more prone to fraudulent transaction compared to other. And they're using all this type of data to make that single decision. So when I tap, the algorithm will either decide whether my transaction is fraudulent, whether it's genuine. If it's genuine, the transaction is approved. If it is deemed to be fraudulent, the transaction will be declined. And AI will be doing that process and will be helping, making that decision. The other type of, sorry, go ahead, Nancy.
No, that's great examples.
And then the other type of business application is the recommendation engines. And we see that like in everywhere, whether like, you buy, online, whether you use Netflix, for movie or so, wherever kind of like online product, usually you get like an engine recommending you, because you watch this and this and this movie, we think you will be interested in this movie. So this is the type of recommendation that is using machine learning techniques.
Yeah, which is not clear to everyone, but indeed, those are excellent examples. Very nice. Thank you for this brilliant explanation.
Thanks for having me.